What's up? Hello. My name is Tara. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you being here. This is a moment. Somebody's dying outside and I think I need to save them. But I'm not going to. I appreciate you being here. This moment that we have is special. It's beautiful. So, I know what you're thinking. Like, Tara actually wear makeup for a video? Like, is she actually trying for us? And the answer is no, I'm not. Sorry. Tonight we had a little event, a Love Jones event, so I was performing at it. So I decided, I spend half of the week looking like somebody's house girl anyway. Might as well try to look good for once. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I've been getting a lot of requests from people to do a story time. And saying that, telling stories is kind of how I decided to be doing this in the first place. I figured it was a pretty good idea. So I was starting out with a little story that happened when I was in 4th grade. See, my life is pretty eventful. A lot of things happen to it. As uneventful as it is, it's pretty eventful when I think back at it. When you're in the situation, it's just like, I can't believe this is happening. But then when you get out of it and you look back, it's like, okay, that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. So I was in 4th grade, and at the time, we were working with a new product called Study Island. And on Study Island, you could answer school questions, math, science, English, reading, writing, things like that. And the way that it worked is you would go through a section, answer it, and after you get a certain minimum grading on it, then you could go back and redo the section as a game. In order to play the games, you would have to do well on it. So I was on Study Island, and every time that we would go on it, my teacher, we'll call her Roberta. Roberta would log in front of us. And so I was like, okay, whatever. So I went home one day, and the little curiosity cat in my brain was like, ooh, you should see if you put her username in front of it, and in the username box, and put your password in the password box, if it would work. And so I was like, oh, I'm so intelligent. Yes. So I put it in, and it worked, and it logged me into her account, and I just saw all of these names. I went straight to my name, I clicked on my name, and all I saw were fractions. I was just like, you mean people go to school and be working with fractions even as adults?
Hey!
The world is a very messed up place. And so I was like, okay, let's see how this works. So I opened up a second tab. My second tab was my account. The first tab was her account. So I realized that when I would change the fractions, games would open up for me in some of my questions. So I was like, So you mean tell me that when I fix this fraction, I get to play more games? Oh yeah, we doing this. I went through and I just changed a bunch of fractions to play games. That was the rationale in my 4th grade mind, was you change the fractions, you play games. That's it. And that's what I spent the weekend doing. It was a Friday, so I did it. I went to sleep, I was in 4th grade. What do I stress about most in 4th grade? Probably the fact that I was in 4th grade, and now I was officially a year older than Arthur, who was in 3rd grade. I just remember being in 2nd grade and being like, I can't wait to get to 3rd grade, because then I'll be in the same grade as Arthur, and we'll be twinsies. And now I'm in 4th grade, so I can no longer for the rest of my life be twinsies with Arthur. That just hit me. I'm sad now. So I went home, weekend went by, went to school. All my day was sitting in class, doing my work. So studious, so smart, so intelligente. And then I just hear Tara come outside. I'm just like, Roberta, that wasn't very harsh. Did you not drink your coffee? What's going on? Somebody needs to calm down. Okay. So I go outside, and Roberta's like, what did you do? I mean, God, that's a difficult question to answer, Roberta. Like, you need context for that kind of question. Like, I was a very intelligent 4th grader. Thank you. And so she's like, what did you do? I'm just, I woke up this morning, I came to class, I didn't cheat today, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, you changed your grades. I'm just like, oh, Study Island? No, girl, I changed the fractions. I changed the fractions. Those weren't grades. Those were probably in a different section somewhere else. I changed fractions so I could play games. 2 different things, not even the same. Can I go back to class? And she's just like, no, you changed your grades and I'm very disappointed in you. And I was just like, disappointed? I don't like that word. It has a negative connotation and I don't feel like I'm a negative child. Because I was, as a child, the same that I am now. Bubbly, happy, good student, da-da-da-da. And so she's like, no, go back in class. So I'm sitting in class like, Roberta is really upset about these fractions. She is upset. And I cannot seem to, I don't like fractions this much. I don't know why she likes them this much. These are the things that I'm trying to rationale in my 4th grade head. But let me tell you what made me upset about Roberta. She was telling everybody. She would tell some PTA moms, and da-da-da-da. She would tell teachers. And I get the teachers was like, you know, they had the little teacher circle. But then some teachers had students in my grade. So I'd be at recess and like, Tara went to go change your grades. Tara went to go change your grades. And me, I'm a good student. I don't do anything wrong. So it really hurt me. Like, I really felt bad about it. I was just like, I didn't mean to do this stuff. I didn't mean to get in trouble. Like, this was not what I wanted to do. And everybody's seeing me some bad kid who goes and changes their grades. Because that's a big deal. Like, you changed your grades. So I was sitting in class and then I get called down to the principal's office. Principal, first of all, amazing woman. Love her, love her, love her, love her. Till this day, I love her. She was just always a great woman who really had a really major impact on my life. Miss Hostin. If I'm allowed to say her name, Miss Hostin. Just amazing, just amazing, just amazing. So I'm in her office, she's talking to me and she's like, Tara, I'm really disappointed in you. And I don't know what it is about Miss Hostin, but she is just like, because it was her, I was just like, okay, but I didn't mean to do that. Like, it was just the fractions, and so I changed the fractions, and I just wanted to play some games. And she was like, how did you get her password? And I was like, it's everybody's password. She's like, don't lie. And I was like, I'm not lying. Like, everybody's password is dinos. And our mascot is the dinosaurs. And she locks it in front of us using the same setup that we do. This isn't rocket science. This is common sense. And when you smart like me, you put 2 and 2 together and you log in. So I logged in. And that was it. Like, if you and me have the same password, are we not the same? And Roberta, should I not be yelling at you just like you're yelling at me? I'm not saying it's true, I'm just saying. So while I'm there in her office, she's like, I know you're not a bad student. To me, that was just the best thing to hear, because for the past couple hours, I had been feeling like the worst person in all of 4th grade. I felt like all the teachers were looking at me, you know, like I was a bad kid. I felt like all the students were looking at me like I was a bad kid. I felt like parents were looking at me like I was a bad kid. I just felt like a terrible person. To me, that was just like, okay. Somebody sees that I'm not a bad person. Like, that was just the best thing that I could have heard from her at that time. Because it was like, to I guess everybody else, it was like she really did this, she went to go change her grades. But to me, I really didn't know what I was doing. Like, if somebody would have told me at the time that I was doing it, that I was changing my grades, I'm the kind of kid that would have like stopped what I was doing, gotten her number, called her house phone, and just began to cry. Just, I don't know, like, I guess it was changing my grades. Like, I don't know what I was doing, please, like, take it back, I don't know. Like, that's the kind of kid that I was. But she was like, I'm not gonna suspend you. I'm not gonna give you ISS because I know you're a good kid. And this is not the kind of thing that you do. But, and I was like, that means that there is a punishment coming. Because at first I was feeling lax. I was like, okay, no suspension, we're not getting ISS, like, what could you possibly do? And then she was like, you're not gonna be in the High School Musical play. Now see, at that time, there was a play that we were doing as a 4th grade class, and that was High School Musical. I tried out for Gabriella. I didn't get it. Till this day, nobody has given me an explanation as to why I didn't get Gabriella when I know I killed the audition. The start of something new. Yeah. Instead, I got cheerleader number 4. And cheerleader number 4 had one line. And so the cheerleaders would line up during We're All in This Together before it started, and they would go, "Go Wildcats, go," and then they'd go, and then when it would end, I would be at the back and I'd be like, "Wildcats." That was it. That's all I did. So when she told me that, I was like, okay. Like, I was kind of sad that I wouldn't get to, like, you know, spend the last days of 4th grade doing High School Musical with my compadres. But at the same time, I was like, I have one line at Wildcats. Now, I did still go see the show, you know, when they performed it, which a lot of my teachers commended me for. Like, that's so mature of you to still come and support them, you know, even though you got kicked off. And I was like, yeah, like, I'm not a bad kid. Then she was like, also, I was like, also, what is this? She was like, you can't go on the last field trip with the 4th grade class. I was like, wow. Sorry, to the aquarium. I wanted to go see the stingrays. Okay, that's fine. She's like, I'm sorry, Tara, but there have to be consequences for your actions. And I was like, I know, Miss Austin, I know. I just really wanted to go on the field trip. So I didn't go on the field trip. Instead, I think I stayed home. Which wasn't too bad. Yeah, I didn't get to be in the play, didn't go on the field trip. Low-key, when I still see Roberta, I'm just like, you snitched on me. You made everybody think I was a bad person. And people are always like, no, Tara, you knew what you were doing. I didn't. I didn't know what I was doing. It was fractions. I was changing fractions. And because I changed the fractions, I got to play games. It was like, if you put food in water, fish come kind of thing. Like, oh, I want to see fish, and put the food in water. It wasn't a, oh, I'm making them fat. Or I shouldn't be feeding them this bread because it's bad for their digestive system kind of thing. It was just like, when I put it in there, they come to me. That's it. So yeah, that is the story of how I hacked into my teacher's grade book and I changed my grades, not knowing they were my grades. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing this moment with me. I appreciate it. Y'all like my new hair? You haven't seen me in a month, even though I've had it for a month. But, you know, I miss my braids sometimes, but I like this. It's different for me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of whatever time of day it is, wherever you're at. And remember that today is a beautiful day to live your best life, and God loves you.